Alright, what's going on YouTube? This is Chris, again of Chris Columbus Games, bringing you another Bloodborne boss beatdown. Today we find ourselves at the edge of Lake Bergenworth, overlooking the most romantic moon I've ever seen in my life. And the boss of the day is Rom, the Vacuous Spider, also known as always as a douchebag. Now you're going to notice right away that Rom fights this fight on a very kind of second-hand approach. Basically what he does is he just summons a lot of little peons and they kind of just hang out around him, and the peons basically are really what you want to worry about. Basically for the most of this fight you can just hang out, let them scatter, run right through, get in beside Rom. You don't want to hit him in that rock head, but just get in beside him where that meat is soft and just lay siege to his little hairy ass. And then you run right back out, because if not, those little baby spiders, the baby Roms, they'll basically dive bomb on top of you, and they have rock heads as well. So the dive bomb attack actually does some substantial damage. So don't get greedy when you're in there chopping. I got a little greedy there myself right there and almost got dive bombed on. Luckily I narrowly escaped. And then sometimes he'll teleport just like that, and every time he teleports he's going to drop a new little mass of underlings. So yeah, you want to just hack, chop and run. Basically chop and run is your best bet for this boss, because it doesn't really matter how long this boss fight takes, ladies and gentlemen, because Rom does not, and I repeat, he does not respawn his health, which is, you know, pretty amazing. You have to watch out for these arcane attacks that he just launched, because basically he launches a huge number of icicles and they just come crashing down all around you. But for the most part, you know, this fight is really simple if you just don't overcomplicate it. Don't get greedy. If you get greedy, you're gonna pay dearly. Maybe if you're superly over leveled, because there's a farming spot somewhat before this, so if you're over leveled at this point, then you know it's not gonna really matter. Yeah, I got tagged by that arcane attack right there trying to get away from it. Maybe I should have just hugged him, but either way, for most of the fight Rom does very little fighting of his like for himself actually, and this fight is basically just running in, hacking him to bits, and running out as quickly as you can. Because I mean, he has an AoE attack that's pretty nasty, and mostly it's just those arcane bolts that you just saw hit me. They're freaking nasty as ever. And then all his little children, siblings, baby siblings, I don't know what the hell you'd call them, but all the little peons basically, they're the ones that you really have to worry about. Because like I said, Rom doesn't actually do any fighting until probably like the last third of his life, and then he'll actually have some physical attacks where he's like romping his giant head on the ground. But to be honest, he doesn't really do a whole lot of fighting himself. Here's his AoE attack, and it actually really doesn't do that much damage. I mean, I didn't even try to avoid it, but you know, if you're low on vitality or you have a character who doesn't have a crap ton of vitality points, I mean, I avoided it that time. But see, like closer to the end of the fight, he does start doing a little more attacks. He'll start rolling around and romping his rock head on the ground. But yeah, just get in there, get a slash or two in, and just run out, because those little spider guys, man, they have at least 3 different attacks. They have that lunging jump, they have some kind of like little combo attack with those big pincers, they have the dive bomb that you just saw again, and then they have this little like cum shot that they're spraying goo out of their mouth. I mean, I'm guessing they're spiders, so I'm guessing it's web, but it looks like cum, so I'm going to call it cum. So you want to avoid the cum shots, you want to avoid the drizzle of rain, freaking ice shards down. You want to avoid his romping head just right there. I got hit by, I don't know, his little toe, I don't know, and there he goes flailing his giant head around again. Like I said, for this fight, the thesis of this fight, if I had to say there was one, is do not get greedy. Do not get greedy. When you're fighting Rom, never get in a hurry. Rom is a joke if you just take it slow. If you take it slow and you run in and you run out, I mean, your character, he's going to be a track star by the time this fight is done. But if you take it slow and you do, you know, just kind of never get greedy, this isn't one of those bosses that you can just hug and chop to bits. And there are a lot of them in this game, a lot of the big guys, but this is not one of them. You're going to want to just get in there, get a couple hits in and get the hell out, because if not, you're gonna get tagged by all his little spiders, and they're basically gonna gangbang you. And if not, he's gonna start slamming his little head around, and that's gonna suck too. So yeah, you just gotta get in, get out, and that's pretty much it for Rom. You don't even have to worry about his little babies, because once you kill them, they all disappear. So that's it for Rom. His blood's raining down. This has been Chris of Chris Columbus Games, bringing you another Bloodborne boss getting his ass successfully beat down. I'll have more videos coming to you soon. Like and subscribe to the channel. Alright, you guys, take care.